the more you prepare, the better your vacation is. So let's talk about vacations, and let's talk about how for you to go on vacation and enjoy being on vacation without going and working with a different view. So, one of the most important things that you can do when you start thinking about going on vacation is why are you going on vacation? Right? What's the reason that you're going on vacation? Here's what happens, you guys. Number one, we feel guilty for going on vacation. So the very first thing we got to deal with, we got to deal with the guilt of going on vacation because we feel like we should be there to work, but then we feel guilty if we're not there with our family. So we're dealing in guilt on both sides. And then the other thing is this badge of honor of like, look, I can work from anywhere, so I'm working for my vacation. Okay. And that is not a badge of honor. It is not something that you need to be proud of. Now, with that being said, I think that you have to have a realistic expectation of you are probably going to have to do some work. Okay. So it's not a matter of, I mean, you may be able to just close your stuff and be done with it. But if that's not usually the case, okay, what we're afraid of happening, we're afraid that we're going to miss out on business. We're afraid we're going to let somebody down. We're afraid of all of those things. If you don't have a place to rest and recharge your batteries, guess what ends up happening? You miss out on opportunity. You don't take care of your clients. Like all the things that you're afraid of happening will happen. It may not happen in 6 months, but I promise you it'll happen in a year. And the burnout rate in this industry is through the roof. And it's because people don't turn it off. They don't take time off. Okay. So just as a side here, you've never completed your to-do list. And the truth of the matter is you've never even really ever gotten close to completing your to-do list because there's always something more you could be doing. And often there's always something more you should be doing. But we get to the end of the day and we go, all right, we're done for today. Tomorrow we'll pick it up again. And somehow or another, when we go on vacation, we think that this is our week to complete our to-do list. And it's not. You're not going to complete your to-do list. You haven't ever completed it before, and you're not going to complete it the week that you're on vacation. Like it's this pressure that we put on ourselves, like this is the magical week that we're gonna make our to-do list be done. And you're not. So let me give you a few steps that would be very helpful for you guys to go on vacation. Number one is find somebody that you can partner with. So you guys, I think what you have to understand is number one, you have to have a clear expectation about what's going to happen and what's not going to happen when you go on vacation. All right. Your business is not going to fall apart if you take a couple of days off. I promise you it's not. And so one of the things that we would do is we would say, we're going to check in. For the first handful of years, or I should say the first handful of years, a lot of years we would go on a cruise. That was one of our vacations because it was hard for us to check in and hard to, do everything. So we would say on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to call the office between 3 and 4 o'clock. Now, a little different for us. We had a team and we had a whole bunch of infrastructure in place. But if you had somebody that was going to help you with your business, okay, so Kim, maybe you're going to call Karen and say, hey, Karen, I'm going to call you on Tuesday and Thursday between 2 and 3 o'clock. So if you'd make a list of any questions you have or needs, then I'll go over those and we'll get them answered for you. Here's the other side. If you're the person that's helping somebody go on vacation, you have to be very committed to not being passive about their business. If you want them to reciprocate a great business for you while you're gone, you have to be there for them and you have to show up for them. Okay. But you have to also be committed that if there is a problem, you're going to raise your hand and call them. And they have to know that. Okay. So Kim, in this instance, if you're calling Karen and you call Karen on Tuesday at 2 o'clock and she goes, oh my gosh, the Smith file, it fell apart. I couldn't get a hold of anybody at the title company. And like Karen didn't call you and help you with and reach out to you, that would be an emergency. Okay. You're not going to have peace about ever doing that again. But if Karen's like, hey, there were some issues at the title company, I got them handled, everything is fine. I just have 2 questions for you. These buyers needed this and this listing needed that. You're going to feel good about that. So you have to be committed to raising your hand and calling the person that's on vacation if it's a true emergency that you can't handle. Okay. But if you can handle it, handle it. And then at your prescribed time when you call to check in, then they're going to feel good about what's happened and happening Does this all make sense, you guys? Okay. So you have to treat that person's business like your business, and that person has to be committed to raising their hand if they get in trouble. And so long as you have peace in that, nothing in your life is going to happen that's going to alter your business in 1 week. So number one, you guys, you need to find somebody in your office, and they don't even have to be at your office. They could be at another brokerage. Kristen's been helping a lady that's at another brokerage with her business go on vacation. So it doesn't have to be just somebody in your office, but it has to be somebody that you trust and that you could build this reciprocating relationship. Because what Corey and Kirsten has built, now they don't even have to think about what's going to happen. They already know who's going to handle it. They already know how they're going to handle it. He's going to do this. The showing partner's going to do this. Da, 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 da. And that other person is just at the top facilitating and handling stuff. And so not a ton of stuff can happen in that week, okay, that can't be handled by you checking in once or twice, and by that person, if they're being very diligent about your business, making sure that it's taken care of. But I know for a fact there's tons of vacations that I went on, and Linda and I went on, that we just sat in different rooms and we just worked, and like, oh, look at that beautiful view, look at the beach, that's super cool, and we just sat there, and it was like we just didn't do what we did. Now, the other thing that you guys have to learn is you can't let this stuff be all encompassing to you. So like I'm really good. Like last week, even though we were on vacation, I still hosted all of our calls. Like, number one, I love doing it, but it doesn't cause me any anxiety when I'm done with the call. I hit it, hang up, and I'm on to the next thing. So you can't get so invested in something that if a deal is happening in your 1 hour, you have to be able to put it down and move on. And then if you had to pick it back up, it has to truly be an emergency. You guys, you will not imagine how you will come home and feel. You will have 10 times the energy that you had, and your business will absolutely grow because of it. Okay. This is so, so, so very important. And nobody talks about it in our industry, and they make you feel bad, and they work with different views. I just saw this guy post. This guy's got this huge business, a friend of mine on Facebook. We're not really friends. We're just Facebook friends. And he posted like he rented this big house in Hawaii for the whole month, and next year he's going to go there. He's going to take his family there so he can work like he's never worked and train for a Ironman like for himself. And I'm like, to me, that is like the most selfish post in the history of the world, right? I mean, so big deal. You rented a house in Hawaii so you could have more work time than you've ever had. I mean, the guy's already probably making 7 figures. Like, what does it solve for you, right? I would be much more impressed if you said I took a month off and went and hung out with my family and my business stayed intact. That would be a much bigger, like, check you out than how I'm going to go work more. So I just want to encourage you guys with this. You need to go on vacation. You need to take time off, even if it's a weekend, that you stay at home. Okay. I mean, when Jessica and I started down this path, I mean, I'm like, can you just take Sunday? Like, we started with a Sunday. Just go to church, do your stuff, leave your ringer off, go to, and then it was a Saturday and Sunday, and then I'll never reach. Like, I took Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. I just gave my phone to, like, it was, and like, what happened? Nothing. Exactly. Everything still continued, and everything still moved down the path. And that'll be the same for you. But you've got to put the time into finding somebody that you can trust, and that you could be trustworthy for them as well. And it'll be magical. It'll be magical for you guys. I think that comes down to finding somebody that you trust and having a similar business, like Corey and Kirsten said. Having somebody that has a similar size business and a similar style business that that could trust to negotiate on your behalf. Because negotiations could take you 20 hours back and forth, and the shipping of contracts, and and you can get sucked into all of that. Then you're like, well, let me set up the inspections while I'm at it. Next thing you know, you burn 2 days of your vacation just like that. So I think that comes down to finding the right person that you can trust, that trust you, that you trust them, and back and forth. The day before you're going on vacation, take the day off. Be done with your business. Be done and have it ready to hand off the day before. So because the day before is you're running around like crazy, checking all the boxes, doing all the stuff. And then whatever you do, if you're going from a Saturday to Saturday, Monday morning, don't schedule appointments starting at 8 a.m. to go show property and to go on listing appointments and to call clients. You shouldn't have anything scheduled, if at all possible, not even on Monday. And give yourself a chance to just breathe when you get everybody back to school or back to wherever they're going or whatever they're doing, but for sure a half a day. So no appointments the day after you come back. until at least after lunch. And perfect is one day on the beginning and one day on the end. And that it will give you so much peace, because it's hard to come back from vacation, do all the laundry, do all the stuff you need to do. The next morning, you got to be up at 8 o'clock to go on this appointment. And you don't have the energy around it. So give yourself that permission to add a day on either side. And really, and if the day on the beginning side of it is meeting with the person and spending time with them, I love that Corey and Kirsten, I mean, obviously you can do it via Zoom, so you don't have to be in person, but it needs to be in person. And you need to have your business, every detail in order.